Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. When it was announced that Robert Helenius had failed a drug test, this obviously comes on the back of Baumgardner and Dillian White, and obviously there's the ongoing Conor Benn thing. When the Helenius thing was announced, Boxing Beats and Rhymes did a little sort of live hangout. A few of us went on there. There was a little panel, little discussion going on about PEDs, and a couple of people on there said that maybe it's time to sort of just let people do what they want and use what they want. And even though I'm not saying it isn't a debate that it is a debate that should be had, okay, I've got no problem with that, but I respectfully disagree with those that say open the floodgates and let it become a sort of cold war between pharmacists essentially. To me, that's not boxing. And because I've followed boxing for well over 40 years and I love the sport, I don't want to see the sport that I love become some sort of, pharmaceutical shit show where it becomes something that isn't boxing, that isn't sport. Combat sports are dangerous enough as it is, and if people are allowed to sort of use whatever, juice as the latest thing without really knowing what damage they're doing to their bodies, then essentially, boxing is over as far as I can see. Now, one of the arguments that was made was, well, boxing is so difficult to police, and there are all different ruling bodies, and there are all different testing agencies, and you can be denied a license by, say, the British Boxing Board of Control. You can go abroad and get a Luxembourg license or an Irish license or a Portuguese license or whatever. So what's the point? Well, the point is that just because something is a war with no end, and there is no end to it, doesn't mean you punk out. It doesn't mean that you essentially take the coward's act and subjugate yourself to something that you damn well know isn't right. And this is true in any walk of life. If people had that attitude, that sort of, oh well, lazy, what can we do? It's if they had that attitude, we wouldn't have, as I've said this before, the National Health Service, women wouldn't have the vote, black people and other ethnic minorities would probably be second-class citizens. There wouldn't be any sort of labour laws protecting you at work. Trade unions wouldn't exist. There is always an absolute war in any walk of life, any part of society, where there's no ultimate victory and there's no ultimate defeat. And just because things seem very bad now doesn't mean that things can't change. Circumstances always change. They can always change. Just like any sort of social issue, the pendulum swings one way and then it swings the next. But if it's swinging in the wrong direction, you won't get it to swing in the right direction unless you make a stand, and that can take a long, long time, and it can be very, very arduous work. I was very, very close to my grandparents, who, if they were alive today, would be, I think, 108, 107, 108. They were from the Second World War generation. They were, during the Blitz in London, they were facing essentially a sort of 9/11 every day, for a long period of time. And of course, Britain was smashed to bits, but from the ashes, after the war, even though Britain and America and the Soviet Union won the Second World War, those countries had to be rebuilt. And in the case of Britain, it was a case of, building the National Health Service, building industries, the coal industry, the steel industry, and so on, all of which are abolished now, but that's a discussion for another time. But my point is, people didn't look at the rubble and say, oh, the hell with that. It is what it is. What can we do? There is a sort of cowardice to that type of attitude that I really don't like. And that really goes against everything that I love, not just about human nature, but about boxing. Boxing and human nature. I just don't think you throw the towel in. I think you fight, you go out on your shield. But the thing is, as I say, where it comes to PED testing, or whether it comes to combating poverty in society, there is no ultimate victory and there is no ultimate defeat. So I just wanted to sort of share that with you. I just don't believe that is the answer, to just say, okay, anyone can use anything, because it becomes about pharmacists and not athletes. And I think the fact that people are being caught quite a bit now, I think that's a really good thing. I think the second phase, if you like, has to be that people are punished correctly, as Zolane Tete was with a 4-year ban. First offence, 4-year ban, say, for example. Second offence, 10-year ban. We've got to come down tough on these people, and also hold their team, their nutritionists, strength and conditioning coaches, dietitians. We've got to hold them to account as well, because if you put in some sort of punishment for people, serious punishment for people, for professionals, or purported for professionals, trust me, they'll behave themselves, or most of them will. You never eradicate cheats or cheating or the effort to cheat, but you'll catch a lot more. That seems to me to be the logical way to make a stand against something that's wrong. But let me know your thoughts. It's a debate that's going to rage, of course. We don't know exactly what Hellenius has popped for, or Dillian, or Alicia Baumgardner. We don't know what they've been caught. I think they might have mentioned the Baumgardner one. Yeah, what she got done for. But Dillian's, I think, and Robert Hellenius, we've yet to hear about. Anyway, confidentiality is a thing, isn't it? So yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for your time as always. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd appreciate that. And also hit the like button. You can help us out that way. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. I really appreciate your time and your effort to build the channel up. And we will speak again soon. Sometime soon. We got Usyk and Dubois tomorrow, so I'll do a video on that. And yeah, thanks a lot. Take care.